I daydream about your cool ocean breeze and your summertime melodies. We could be sipping and chilling, sun kissing tide, ripping. I'll be sitting with my toes in your sand. But damn, I can't shit. So screw you, beach. Screw you, beach. Screw you. Screw you. Screw you. Screw you. Screw you, beach. Why you gotta be 437 miles from me? I daydream about your cool ocean breeze and your summertime melodies. We could be sipping and chilling, sun kissing tide, ripping. I'll be sitting with my toes in your sand. But damn, I can't shit. So screw you, beach. Screw you, beach.
Screw you, beach. John Allan Miller right there.
Screw
Let's see if we can't get him into the big screen here. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing very well. Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you, man. Cheers, brother. Yeah, man. We're just counting down the days. We're excited to get down to Key West, and I'm excited about seeing you down there.
I'm so excited for it, and I've been counting down the days for a long while now, and it's going to be so nice just to hang out. Like you said, just hang out and have fun.
Yeah,
it's
man.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, so what part of the world are you in today? You're down in Florida, right?
I am. I've made my way to beautiful Lake Francis, which is in the town of Lake Placid, and so I got a nice. You can see a nice.
I know.
Lake
Yeah,
view
screw you and your beach, okay? That's a new song.
Your place makes you feel like you're at the beach. And I know where you are.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, you got to walk the talk. You got to, I want people to feel like when they come by here that if they can't be in Key West, it's the next best thing. You got good people, and the chocolate bar is full of people right now. So, for
sure, I in Nashville where I live, there is absolutely nothing that resembles the beach where my home is. I love my place, but I might in the wintertime, if I can't make it down to the beach, might just need to come see you and we can be cold together.
Well, there you go, man. Well, that's what the chocolate bar was built for. We got a stage inside, and of course we got a guest room for the artist. So we need to get you over here sometime and do this. Come over on a Saturday. We'll have some fun on Saturday and then do the show on Sunday or something. It'd be kind of cool.
I would love it.
Yeah. All right, man. So tell us about your what's been going on with you. It's been a while since we had you on.
It has been a minute. Things are great. Been releasing a lot of music. Put out as the Captain put out a song called Worry Wagon just a few weeks ago.
Right.
And before that, put out the Captain's version of Screw You Beach. And then I've also released a couple of John Allan Miller tunes, which were I'll have to send them to you if you haven't gotten them. But they're a little different. Kind of went a little I don't know, kind of I don't want to say serious, but they're definitely kind of from definitely from the heart tunes about non-beachy stuff.
Right.
But they've done well, and then on the songwriter side of things, I will share this. Sometimes I forget about this stuff. I wrote a tune with a wonderful artist named Bailey James. And I wrote it with Bailey James and a guy named Nolan Neal, who you might have seen on. He made a great run a few years ago on The Voice. Was recently made a really big run on America's Got Talent, and he's just an amazing guy. If you've seen him, you'd recognize him and you'd remember his voice. But the song that we wrote that Bailey released is called "Finally Free," and it is number 46 on the Billboard charts right now. So I'm very proud of her, and so that's kind of the latest on the music front. Other than just gotten back into playing a lot of shows, which is cool, and so that's nice to kind of have a little bit of resemblance of normalcy. So that's a good thing, and I will say this: they are unpredictable, though. Like back 2-3 years ago, you could kind of just count on oh, it's Friday night at this place.
Yeah.
It'll be packed. You just kind of, it's weird. One Friday it will and one Friday it won't. And you kind of, I can't think of anything else you could chalk it up to other than just kind of weird times, because Nashville on a Friday night, it's not going to be, it's not going to be slow,
Meanwhile, down in Key West, they're having Fantasy Fest and they're partying like rock stars down there, so.
Amen. Yes. cannot wait.
It's a whole different vibe down there. Going back to what you said about The Voice, I've interviewed several people that have been on The Voice, and not all of them have that success that they're expecting. They kind of get sent into the Nashville machine, if you will, and they, some of them say, what, that just wasn't for me. That just wasn't for me at all. It wasn't what I was expecting. Some of them kind of, take that and say, I've been on The Voice and I've done this and done that. I mean, have you known a lot of the artists that have come through like that?
Yeah. Oh man. And it's funny. I end up writing with a lot of them, and I still do. The funny thing I 100% with you. They play the show, and you get this big burst of, oh my goodness, I'm famous.
Yeah.
And you really, for a minute, you kind of are, because you have hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people that know who you are. And then you move to Nashville, and I think, I always take the positive from things. I feel like from doing that, you're going to have, those hundreds of thousands of people may not remember you a year later, but you're going to make some great contacts that, whether it's, some fans in Denver or some fans in Chicago that will somehow or another come back into the mix and be in touch with you. But they do kind of come back to Nashville, and you kind of just, once that buzz is done and they're on to the next season and you're not on the radio, you're kind of back to, okay, let's just get back into the grind. And one of my favorites that I work with a lot and love to death is my buddy Josh Gallagher, who you may remember. He finished second or maybe third.
I remember that. Yeah.
A few years ago. And I wrote my song Once in a Blue Moon with Josh. And so we're good buddies, and he's hilarious, by the way. You'd like talking to Josh. He's kind of, and don't get me wrong, it's Josh, but when you turn the camera on, like or
he's on.
Or he's on Instagram or whatever, he turns in. He's like reminds me of like a WWE personality. He's kind of got this like,
are you ready to rumble?
Yeah. Oh, he's something else. It's wild, but yeah. So he's one of them, and like I said, Nolan Neal's one of them. He's got a great story if you look into it. I mean, a hard story.
Yeah.
But he's gonna be all right, and he's one that can knock him down. He's gonna get back up, and so I love writing songs with that guy and with Bailey, and so check out Bailey James. It's kind of like a throwback. Kind of reminds me of like a old like Etta James type tune.
Well, I love me some Etta James.
Yeah, it's sitting at number 46 on the country chart. So who'd have thunk it?
Man, that's fantastic! Congratulations for that. I mean, I always wondered about the. Well, I kind of had my suspicion based off of the ones that I've interviewed over the years or whatever, and you're right. That's a good starting point, right? But you got to get in there, and you got to, because there's a lot of people in Nashville that have been grinding it out for years, and you're not just going to come in there, a new kid on the block, and start getting all this and that and all that other stuff, So you got to pay your dues, especially in Nashville. But a lot of people get chewed up and spit out as well too. So you got to be tough. And make those contacts. Find somebody like yourself to write some songs with, and all that good stuff.
It's a great town, but I'm thinking like probably right about now hitting year. I'm not one that like keeps that. I moved to Nashville on October 4th. I'm weird like that. I just have no idea. I knew I moved, I think, somewhere in October 7 years ago. So it might have been 7 years ago today. I don't know, but it's it'll it's funny. It's one of those things. It'll kick you down, but once you kind of get your mind straight to the fact that it's not kicking you at all, it's just a day, and you just you just do your thing and love what you're doing, and good things happen if you let them, and you just kind of got to keep trucking along, and again, you could say you're struggling, you could say, man, this is the best day in the world. It depends on how you look at it. To me, it's a great place, and I love the day to day there. It's been great.
Well, if every day you saw a rainbow, you wouldn't appreciate it. Well, there's another rainbow.
For sure, right? Yeah, every day, right? Exactly. I know you're a positive dude, Danny. That's one of the reasons why I love talking to you, because Everybody can feel it when you're watching your show, man. It's great.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. Well, listen, we've got this song that we've been talking about, the Worry Wagon, and it is a little different. I love it, though. I love it. Whenever you first you sent it to us a little while back, I was like, man, I'm really digging this because it kind of goes along with a lot of what we talk about with positivity and carrying this and that in your worry wagon and all that stuff. So I really dig it, man. Let's play it, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit about the song itself. Okay.
Sounds great.
All right, so here we go. John Allan Miller, a.k.a. the Captain, who is going to be down in Key West. Not everybody can clone themselves like that, but he's figured out a way to do it, and you're really going to enjoy it. So here we go.
What if you lose your job, can't pay the bills, the house and the car, oh my God, they're gone too. What would you do? With no money and no food, for sure you'd be starving out on the street. Sound the alarm, there's no way you'd get through. Oh, the weight of this chain reaction, the chances are never ever happens. Don't carry all the worries in your worry wagon. You can just unload them. Ain't no point in stressing things you can't control. You just learn to let them go. Them worries aren't meant for you to be having. Don't carry all the worries in your worry wagon. Don't carry all the worries in your worry wagon. Let's say that one day your nightmare comes true. Your company lays off a ton, and you too, out of the blue. Domino effect is about to happen. It could be tragic or it could be magic, but it ain't up to you. You can only do what you can do. Things will work out the way they're supposed to. So don't you carry all the worries in your worry wagon. You can just unload them. Ain't no point in stressing things you can't control. Just learn to let them go. Them worries aren't meant for you to be having. So don't carry all the worries in your worry wagon. No, don't carry all the worries in your worry wagon. Oh, 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 don't carry all the worries. No, don't carry all the worries. Don't you carry all the worries. No, 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 don't carry all the worries. Don't you carry all the worries in your worry wagon. You can just unload them. Ain't no point in stressing things you can't control. You just learn to let them go. Them worries aren't meant for you to be having. Them worries aren't meant for you to be having. So don't carry all the worries in your worry wagon. Don't carry all the worries in your worry wagon. Whoa. Don't carry all the worries in your worry wagon. Whoa. Don't carry all the worries in your worry wagon.
I love that line, just unload your wagon, for God's sakes.
Carry all the worries.
That's right. It really is that simple, and we talk about it all the time. I write about it all the time as well. Just, control, always one of my favorite things. And when I was going through a hard time one time, I put it on a Post-it note and I carried it on the dash of my truck that said, control the fear, never let the fear control you. Right. And because everybody is going through hard times and something's going to happen, people go through divorces, somebody passed away, this, that, whatever. But, if you can master, and I remember one time when I was going through a hard time, a buddy of mine says, you know what the biggest problem you have? Your own damn head.
Yes. Yes.
If you can get past, letting all of that control your thoughts, you'll be fine. And it's so true.
Yep, 100%. And it is, like you say, you can only control what you control. The line in the song is, you can only do what you can do.
Yep.
Things will work out the way the way they're supposed to.
That's right.
So don't you? And you really can only control. If you can zone in. There's a book. I love your post that you do every morning is amazing, and I don't always chime in because sometimes it's another thing. I see so many folks probably see it and are on the move when they see it, but it's that post that helps set off their day and made it a great day, because it really does. You do some great things. So I just want to say I appreciate that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
If you're listening, make sure you guys tune in. Tune into your Facebook page, because you do great things with that.
Thank you.
But it is true. It's a these things that you I was gonna say the book. There's a book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving.
Yes, I love that book.
Yeah.
And if you can get, for my little critique of that book, is if you can get past the first 2 chapters where he hammers home that word a million times, it kind of gets old. But once you get past those first couple ones, the book isn't about not caring about things. Well, it's about finding those few things that you can control and that do matter, that you can make a difference on, and put all your energy on those things and let everything else just kind of go. And that's the subtle art of not caring about those certain things. That was my take on that title. But it's true, and it can make a difference, because those thoughts get in your head and it's over once your thoughts are thinking all the negatives. So.
In the generations and generations before us, right? Your grandmothers or whatever would always say, "This too will pass," and that's kind of how they summed up the same thing that we're talking about. Really, is that it will pass. People really ought to thank all those people that danced across their threshold and did them wrong and fired them and cheated on them and all that stuff, because now you've learned who. I used to tell people all the time, and you're like, I just want to learn to be happy, and you're like, well, you need to figure out what you don't want in your life, and then everything else will fall into place.
Right, 100%. One little thing, is a lot of times you don't really think about these songs too much, and once they're out, especially, it's funny. One thing I do appreciate about that song "Worry Wagon" is that the second verse, it's not all happy-go-lucky. The second verse tells you it goes to a little bit to negative town by saying, let's say that terrible thing actually does happen. Mm-hmm. It usually isn't if you open your eyes up to it, it usually isn't all that, it's not as bad as you would have imagined it would have been, or beautiful things come from it eventually, in its own way. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys. Did I ever tell you how that? I don't know if I ever told. We had to talk about how that song came about.
Yeah, tell me.
Did I tell you?
Yeah, tell me.
It was during the coronavirus. We're still in it, but it was during the thick of the pandemic, and I was watching a good friend of mine who was a former business partner in my prior life before moving to Nashville, who is now a pastor in Jacksonville, Florida. And he was giving a great sermon that I was watching. I had it pulled up just like this. I was on the TV, but watching YouTube. Yeah. And he was giving this sermon where he was delivering what the song is about without doing it in a lyrically poetic way. He was literally just saying, like, there's this wagon that you carry your worries around in, and these worries are worries that you don't need to be worrying about. These are things that you can't control, and you need to get rid of that. And when he said, it was funny, I'm always listening for hooks. So he said, there's a wagon with your worries. He said those worries they're not yours to be having. And I would, oh man, I flipped it, and it was like, those worries aren't for you to be having. don't carry all those worries in your worry wagon. And I was like, oh boy, thanks, Ed. Turn it off. I have all thank you, Ed. I have all I need from you today, sir. Turn it off. Let's write this song, and just sat there and wrote it. But probably in about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I usually don't do. I usually really stew over it, but it just kind of came out. But
my grandmother used to make all of us boys. We spent a lot of time on the farm with her in the summer times, and she'd make us. She never owned a car, never drove in her life, so we had to walk about 1.5 miles to church every Sunday. And she made us go and sit on the front row. And we had this old preacher, and he'd be like. When you put your shoes on in the morning, you never know if the undertaker's going to be taking them off at night. So you better be living right, And
wow, that's awesome.
That's like scare the hell out of us, which was what we're supposed to be doing, And
my goodness, that's awesome. Man. Words of wisdom.
Yeah, man. So when you get down to Key West?
So I'm going to head down there on, I believe, on the 1st.
Okay.
And I plan something on the 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
That has when I say something, honestly, I need to take a look at the whole schedule and whatnot. It's the 2nd is something awesome that Eric is putting together. Erica Sunshine Lee.
Yeah.
So something in there. So that's kind of my. I definitely need to be there by November 2nd, but I think I'll get down there on the 1st, and I know you're going to be there a little early.
Yeah, this time next week we'll be doing our Sunday show from Stock Island at CK Sunrise Villa, a good friend of ours. We'll get in on Saturday, and Erica Sunshine Lee, we had her on the show a couple weeks ago, and she was talking about all the things that she's got going on. Man, she's a firecracker, isn't she?
She is. She's awesome, and we actually wrote our first tune together a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
And it's a cool one. I hope we can get together and kind of work on it, maybe sing it together. But yeah, she's fantastic, and that when I was there in the Keys for the Key West Songwriters Festival playing in early May, I stayed in Stock Island, and man, I made some cool buddies over there. It was great. When you're on your way to that bar that I think is the one that are you playing at that bar that's kind of right by the marina, or is that where the show, is that where you're going to be at?
No. CK's is a private place, and he's a friend of ours. We call him Dat Guy. We have him on every week, and so he's a really good friend of ours. So we're going to be at their place. We've done a show there before. It's been a while. When we hit the island, we try to see as many people as we can before the show starts. Now, the cool thing about our show is we will see everybody,
right?
At some point in time or another, so we don't have to worry about missing people. But, spend a little quality time with people, because it's a little different at the show.
And that CK, man, so is it a place where, I'm curious because I had a good time on the island. Is it a spot where, is it his residence or is it a place of business?
No, it's a residence.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
There's that cool little art. It's kind of, I just stumbled upon it. It's kind of a fenced-in area, and you walk in, and it's like this guy has this art gallery and a little food truck and a neat stage that I want to one day do a little shindig on.
Well,
you find a lot of cool stuff on Stock Island, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Well, he's coming up next right after you. Maybe you can I'm sure he'll bring it up because he's that guy, in Key West. So
guy. I'm looking forward to meeting.
Yeah, there you go.
That's fantastic.
Well, cool, man. So tell everybody, because people are confused a little bit, because I'm like, hey, I'm interviewing two people. All right. My buddy, John Allan Miller, who is going to be with the captain.
I know it is confusing. I'll make it real simple. I'm John Allan Miller, like it says there on the screen, and you can find me on like a lot of music out there is John Allan Miller. So you can hear some of that on Tiki Man Radio, and but you can find it on Spotify and stuff like that. But you can find me on Instagram at Eat Drink Be Happy. Eat, Drink, Be Happy.
Nice.
And I've got some exciting news that I'll share in the Keys regarding that. I have an exciting brand that will be launching pretty soon, but not to confuse us. But then and then if you guys would like to find some of the Captain's tunes, that's just a separate project that is separate from John Allan Miller, and you can just search The Captain, and you could type in Worry Wagon or Screw You Beach, and that's on there. There's a new version of Screw You Beach that The Captain did, which is a little bit more pumped up type stuff.
Yeah.
but you can if you find John Allan Miller, you can easily shoot me a message, and I'll send you to any other things. And on Facebook at John Allan Miller and all that stuff. And you can find me in the Keys playing the Tiki Man Radio show.
That's right.
In a week. So that's the best place to find me.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Come by and say hi, as we like to say. But man, I can't wait to get down there and hug your neck and buy you a beer or something. We're gonna have a good time.
I accept all hugs and definitely beers as well. And if Michelle's sitting there, did you explain, Michelle, my situation of the confusion on things? Tell her I said hello.
Yeah, she's sitting here right now, and I did not tell her the whole details. Yeah, I didn't tell her the whole details.
No worries.
Oh, well, Michelle, we'll connect. I look forward to catching up with you.
There we go. All right, buddy, we're gonna let you fly and get ready for that guy. He's in a contract and all this stuff. So I gotta be on time. But man, we love you. We love what you do. Big supporter of you, man, and we'll see you in Key West, brother.
See you guys soon. Bye.
Bye-bye, man.
Later. Thank you.
See you, brother.